Good evening, everybody. Welcome. We are starting out the presentation. I'm your host for the evening, Hetal Sonawala. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and we have with us our speaker tonight, Mr. Mukesh Savani, all the way from UK. So, without any further delay, help me put your hands together and help me welcome Mr. Mukesh.
Right. Thank you very much for your kind words, Ethel. Welcome everybody to this business presentation, 9 o'clock in the evening Tuesday in India. It's sort of 4:30 in the UK, and it's breakfast time in California where Mr. Ethel is. But what I want to do over the next 45 minutes or so is do a two-part presentation. The first part is about a bit of background, a bit of the science, and about the unique products that we have and the product we have brought to the Indian market, and which is doing very well. There are other products available in other markets, which we will be bringing shortly to the Indian market. The second part of the presentation is all to do with the business side. If that side doesn't interest you, please watch it still, because you may know somebody who may be interested in joining our team part-time alongside whatever else they're doing and promoting good health and our message, as well as earning some incomes, which I will show you all about. So for the next 45 minutes, if you can pay attention, take notes, because we'd love to answer your questions. So please do write down your questions and then get back to the person who invited you here, and you can actually then get all your questions answered. And then if your questions are answered to your satisfaction, then what I would suggest is getting back to the person and saying, I'm keen to join your team and let's get going, because Zinzino as a company has got something incredible in June and July, and I'll come back to that later on. So the company we're dealing with is Zinzino, and it's leading a wellness revolution. Its philosophy is science-based. Its philosophy is dealing in the latest science and helping people to get back to normal health, helping people to prevent illnesses, and even in many cases reverse what they've got. I myself am on a journey of reversing my type 2 diabetes, and that would be a fantastic thing where as I go on that journey. So to introduce Zinzino, it's a 15-year-old company, Scandinavian. In fact, it's quoted on the NASDAQ, and to become a member of the NASDAQ index for the financially minded amongst you, it's quite difficult. You've got to have open accounts. All your figures, your sales, your profits, everything is open so that your shareholders and anybody in the market who can buy shares in Zinzino can see. And we had a record year last year, 48% growth in the lockdown. And we've had double-digit growth over the last 15 years that we've been operating. And there's a very, very strong financial foundation. We used to have a market of some 1 billion people. And then on the 6th of April, we opened up in India, and our market potential of reaching customers increased to 2.5 billion, with the 1.5 billion people that are actually in India. We just last week opened up in Malaysia, and we're going to open up very shortly in Singapore, Thailand, and Taiwan, as well as Mexico and South Africa. So these are expansion plans which are rapidly coming into being. Let me talk about India. India, the company is called Zinzino Health Products India Limited, and it's valid on the FSSAI license. So all the company, the products, and everything is licensed by the union government as well as by the state governments around India. We have our head office in Delhi, and the warehouse is in Mumbai, with products there being shipped every day since the 6th of April to right around India. The shipping partners are DHL and Blue Dart, and our payment provider partner is Edian, where you can be payment by invoice, bank transfer, or you can have credit or debit card transfer. So there's a variety of ways of payment because it's an e-commerce business. Somebody buys off the website, pays for it, and immediately the product is shipped to their home, arriving within a few days. As I said, we launched on the 6th of April, but what I want to do now is just take you some basic background of why we think these are the best products and what is the science and the validation of what we are saying. So there's a trend. You see people walking, you see people jogging, you see people going to the gym. People think they're buying stuff from the supermarket or the mall or all these food sources that I'm healthy. I feel good. When I look in the mirror and I smile, that means I'm good. My doctor tells me I'm good because I don't have to go and see the doctor. Just because you're not seeing the doctor, does that mean that you are fit on the inside? Does that mean that there are things going on which you're not aware of, which eventually show up as type 2 diabetes, show up as a heart attack, show up as a stroke, Alzheimer's, cancers? So we want to feel and stay fit and be healthy, but at the same time, you and I know that in the UK, in the US, and in India, the rate of diabetes type 2 is rocketing. The people with strokes and heart attacks and sudden death and cancers and all sorts of chronic illnesses are increasing. And the simple question is, why? Why is this happening? If we think we are eating well, if we think we are leading a normal life, if we are not going to the doctor, why are we suffering these things at an increased rate? And the answer lies in something that the father of medicine, Hippocrates, said nearly 2,500 years ago. And he said, let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. It is what you eat that determines what happens to you. Let me just explain. We used to eat things grown in the farms, fresh coming from the farm. We used to get food. If you're a fish eater or something, you'd get that straight from the sea, and it's caught that day, and you cooked fresh food, which was full of minerals, vitamins, phytochemicals, and fibers. The fibers are really important, and some essential fatty acids. These essential fatty acids are required right around the body in every cell of the body, but they're not made by the body. We have to eat them. And we used to have both the omega-6 fatty acid and omega-3. What's happened since then? Currently, we eat food from the supermarket. We eat food from ready-made sources. How many of you eat burgers, Frankies, and bhel and pakoras on the street and all sorts of pizzas and things? It's great to eat them, but they're low in nutrition, high in sugar, very high in calories, low in fibers, and importantly, there's an imbalance of the omega-6 and 3 in there. There's too much omega-6 in there and not enough omega-3. And let me explain what that means. When we are born, our DNA formation has a balance of omega-6 to 3. Omega-6 is an inflammatory fatty acid, which through inflammation can control infections and things, and it's required. Omega-3 is an anti-inflammatory, which puts out the inflammation and returns the body to the normal state after the omega-6 has taken effect. So if you have them in balance, you are going to lead a healthy life. But if those are out of balance and you have too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3, what you have is a state of chronic inflammation. Not the inflammation when you cut yourself or you injure yourself, but the underlying inflammation which is going on in every cell, every organ, muscle, bone, brain, heart, liver, kidneys, everywhere in your body. That chronic inflammation, month after month, year after year, over a number of years, leads to the conditions which then present as diabetes, heart attacks, strokes, cancers, Alzheimer's. That is the root cause, and it's caused by that. About 100 or more years ago, we used to eat from the farm, and the ratios were not far off 3:1. 3 omega-6 to 1 omega-1 in the body. And then the turning point came about 60 years ago, 70 years ago, when the farming methods changed. We started doing GMO foods. We started intensive farming. As you can say, Punjab is the farming state of India. But a lot of the practices use chemicals, use intensive farming, and the nutrients started getting reduced. Although we produced more food, we actually produced less nutritious food. So it started getting to 4:1. Today, in India, the average is 25:1, or amongst children and other, it's 40:1. Now that highly inflamed state is what we're talking about. That chronic inflammation is the precursor to the chronic illnesses. And you can see in the diet, if you look at the left, that's the sort of fish that might come fresh as we used to get it. The one on the right is probably the one you buy from the supermarket. And it doesn't have the omega-3 that should be there. If you look at the bottle on the left, olive oil, omega-9 and omega-6, omega-3 in there, very good. In India, over 75% of the oil used is palm oil and soybean oil, highly concentrated in omega-6. So we are feeding ourselves too much omega-6 and causing chronic inflammation and not enough omega-3. So that imbalance leads to reduced brain function, the hair quality decreases, your heart function will decrease, all the internal organs, your joints will start getting pain. So every part of your body is going to succumb to this imbalance of too much omega-6, not enough omega-3. So why is that happening? Is that if you have too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3, the cell membrane of every cell, every part of the body is made up of trillions of cells. The cell membrane hardens when you have too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3. Therefore, all the food you eat and all the nutritious things, and I did say that we don't get actually nutritious food, but even the nutrition we do get doesn't enter the cell. And the toxins produced in the cell, which should be taken out, don't get out. So we get this imbalance. But if we bring the balance down to 3:1, omega-6 to omega-3 or less, what happens is the cell membrane softens, it's permeable, and all the nutrients and food gets into the cell that's in every organ around the body, and all the toxins, the waste products get out. So that's what actually is the key problem. And what we need to do is change to remove this imbalance and bring the balance back into every cell in the body and make the cell membrane of every cell permeable. So it means changing our diet, reducing omega-6 and increasing omega-3. But I've just said to you earlier that the omega-3 in the food which is readily available is not that good. Therefore, we need to have another solution. The first thing I would say is You might be saying, well, okay, we have this balance, but how do I know if I'm in the danger zone? How do you know if you are carrying this chronic inflammation? Just because you feel okay, just because you smile, just because you didn't go to the doctor doesn't mean you're okay. Are you in the good zone at 3:1? Or are you in the danger zone underlying, which could be 25:1, which could be 40:1? In fact, we tested one gentleman in India who is 125:1. That's a very, very dangerous situation. And that can lead to what you have seen. Maybe you know some people who've had a sudden heart attack and died, who've had a stroke, who've had Alzheimer's at an early age, whose immunity is compromised. How important is your immunity right now? So what we brought to the market, what we brought to India is a simple test. As you can see, it's taken simply in your own home, little drop of blood, which is put on a card. It dries, you put it in an envelope, and it's sent off to our office in Delhi, and we ship it regularly, many times a week. We send it to an independent lab in Oslo, which I'll explain in a minute. But this test doesn't have your name on it. It doesn't have any other details. It just has a code so that you can go on a website on your laptop or an app in your phone and check the results. It takes some 14 to 21 days for an absolutely comprehensive report to come to your app. We have done, this slide is a week out of date, we've done now over 662,000 tests, independent tests. We have the largest test base globally of the fatty acids of any company. And as I said, these tests are done by a lab called Vitas, and it is an independent lab. It is not linked to Zinzino. It's actually doing work for Harvard University, Cambridge University, King's College, Massachusetts General Hospital. In fact, many companies like Nestle and other companies. It's an independent lab which specializes in this dry blood test analysis. And we are a customer of them, and they do the independent analysis and send you the report. So the first thing, as I said, is you get your results, and it gives you not just one, but many, many measures. It gives you your protection, how much protection you have. It gives you your omega-3 index. In fact, in 2004, Professor Harris showed that omega-3 index, if it's above 8% omega-3 in your body, your risk to heart disease is significantly reduced to minimal. It measures your omega-6 to 3 ratio. If your ratio is below 3:1, your risk is reduced. It tells you how your mental state is and how your brain is functioning. It gets rid of your brain fog. So before I started taking my own, my results were around 14:1. So although I felt healthy, in effect, inside I was burning up. And our results show globally that in Europe, 95%, in Australia, 98%, the US, eating food on the run all the time, 99%, and globally, and I'm sure in India, 97% of people are out of balance because our eating habits are not what they used to be 100 years ago. We don't eat fresh. We eat all the highly processed food. So how do we fix this problem? Zinzino's put together an incredible team of some very, very eminent scientists led by Dr. Paul Clayton, Ola Edie, Dr. Angela Rizzo, who's a professor in Europe, who's done a lot of work on children, Dr. Abraham, who's an incredible physician and scientist. We've just added Dr. Colin Robertson and Dr. Lamb, and lots of eminent scientists who research and bring these products and answers to the market. So what we've found is that through the solutions we've brought, we can bring you back into balance of omega-6 to 3, which is a ratio of 3:1 or better within 120 days. Why 120 days? Because all the red cells are replenished and circulated within 120 days around the body, everywhere in the body. So when you get your result after 120 days, you take a second test and you get your result to see how far you progressed. And in this case, we got it back to 2:1. So therefore, it's within the normal range. How did we do that? This is done with using our unique test-based formula. It's this thing, the EssentOil. Yeah. In the rest of the world, it's called balanced oil, but in India, it's called EssentOil. And it's not an omega-3 product, although the omega-3 essential fatty acids, EPA, DHA, and BPA are a key component of it. But the difference is made because we've added polyphenols, and I will explain where these polyphenols come from, vitamin D3 and another antioxidant, vitamin E, to the mixture. And that stops this product from getting oxidized. And that oxidation is very, very important because the omega-3 takes about 24 hours from being taken to getting around the body to every cell in the body. It takes 24 hours. Now, if the omega-3 is oxidized in less time than that, and it becomes no good, then that product is not going to work very well. And this is the difference we have made compared to any other product which is out there in the market. We also give dosage by weight. It's not guess-based. It's all test-based. You first take the test, and in this one, you take the correct amount according to your body weight. Here's a test which we can supply you the details of, which actually proves with an independent lab saying that the product in the bottle is exactly what we say it is, and it works in the way it's supposed to. I mentioned that the olives that we use are from the south of Spain, the PICUAL olives. We collect them some 2 to 3 months prior to being ripe, because that's when the antioxidants, the polyphenols, are the highest. If you get them ripe, which is on the right-hand side, 100 milligrams per kilogram, whereas what we do is we take them pre-harvested, cold press them, no other processing, and we find that the polyphenols in our mixture are about 7.5 times more concentrated. And we add that to the omega-3 and the vitamin D and the vitamin E, and that particular mixture, patented mixture, is the secret, and that's the one which works. And as I said, you take 0.15 mil per kilogram body weight. So if you're a 100 kilogram person, you take 15 mils a day, and that replenishes all the omega-3 that you need, because the polyphenols protect the omega-3 from oxidation. So let me first show you how a customer might purchase this product through the e-commerce website in India. If you add the two tests, these tests generally are worth about nearly 10,000 rupees each, and each bottle of oil, the 2 bottles of oil and 2 travel bottles, 100 mils each, when you could fly. So you get all this mixture should cost about 30,000 rupees. But we have a special premier price for you in India right now. For 14,500 rupees, you'll get the first test sent to you, 2 bottles of oil, which will last you 2 months, plus 2 extra bottles to start your journey. And at the month 4, we will send you another test totally free. And then it's going to cost you 2,950 rupees per month to carry on. We have various flavors: lemon, vanilla, orange, grapefruit. So you have a lot of choice. There's no fishy smell or whatever because we don't oxidize. If you've had your test already, you can actually just go on the subscription for 7,500 rupees, which will give you the 2 month supply of oil and 2 spare bottles, and then 2,950 per month. So what I'm saying is the price of 2,950 rupees per bottle per month, including GST, is what this product is. It works out at about 130 rupees per day. So you have a choice of having a cup of coffee, eating on the run, some pakoras or some fast food, a slice of pizza, or you can take the EssentOil at 130 rupees per day and totally improve and change your health. Reduce your risk to chronic illnesses. That's what it is. Now, the product is made GMP certified. It's Friends of the Sea, informed choice and informed sport, so that it can be taken by Olympic athletes. It's all certified. It's halal certified. We are shortly going to introduce the vegan vegetarian version in India, which will be certified. It's sugar-free, no soy, gluten-free, and keto-friendly if you're on a keto diet. So this very, very highly quality product, why does it work? I mentioned this before, and here's an independent scientific study which looked at krill oil that people are using. The krill oil is oxidized within 5 hours. People are using concentrated omega oil bought in the shops and says, oh, this is very cheap and this is fine. But concentrated omega oil, as soon as the bottle is open or the capsule is taken, it oxidizes within 9 hours. Cod liver oil, which a lot of people are using or people are giving to their children, that is oxidized in 15 hours. I told you earlier, it takes up to 24 hours for the omega-3 molecules to get to every part of the body. And the Essent oil is good and is not oxidized for 35 hours, which is well ahead of the 24 hours. And this is the reason why the Essent oil works and the others are not as effective. There was a study, Cochrane study, which put together 79 different trials in 112,000 people, which showed that if you just use pure omega-3 available in the market, has no effect on the risk of heart disease, strokes, or sudden death. So what we did was find a solution that actually works. This is another bit of evidence which shows that if you're not using any omega-3 product, at every age, you're carrying chronic inflammation. On average, 14.8:1. If you're using an omega-3 from the market, you get some benefit. You're at 9.9:1, but that's still way above the 3.3:1. So what we've got is the Essent oil, which you can see here, the results at every age, you're on average 2.8:1. And this independent trial, which showed comparison with taking nothing, taking any omega-3 that you can buy in the market, any cheap product, and using the Essent oil, the difference is there to be seen. Yep. And here's a study, finally, which most people are carrying inflammation 25:1 and having omega-3% of 3%. As I said to you, you need an omega ratio of 8% in the blood and your 6:3 ratio to be less than 3. So as you start taking the Essent oil, within 120 days, you can see the graph moving from an inflammatory situation to an anti-inflammatory situation and a safe, healthy body, where your risk to all the chronic illnesses are minimal. It's not just about feeling good, but actually being good at a cellular level. So we can get over 95% of those taking the Zinzino EssentOil to 3:1 after 120 days. The others take a little bit longer. Some people may take 5 months, 6 months. There is a very, very small percentage of people who have genetic components which can take even longer. But we can get virtually most people, 95%, within the normal range. So who can use the product? Who needs the product? Everybody. You have evidence and research papers which we can supply to you where pregnant women taking the balanced oil that we are using, they pass it on to the unborn child. And children born whose mothers have taken the right amount of omega-3 actually have less chance of developing asthma in the first 5 years of life. We find babies benefit from it, teenagers benefit from it, adults and elderly. So every age gets a benefit from using this sort of product. So the European Food Safety Standards Agency gives over 100 claims, but here are some 18, and I'll touch on 1 or 2 of them. By taking this and reducing your omega-6 to 3 ratio to the normal range, you develop normal brain function, you reduce brain fog, you reduce your risk to Alzheimer's, you get normal heart function, you reduce your risk to heart disease, you get a normal and strong immune system. That is very, very critical at the moment, both in India and globally. With normal vision, we have evidence and there's research papers to show that it can reduce the risk and even in cases of reverse glaucoma, normal teeth, bone structure, it fights oxidative stress in the body. It's normal cell division, so your fertility and reproductive systems are improved. Your blood pressure goes down and gets into the normal range. Your triglycerides, your cholesterol is brought to normal. So there's a lot of different areas which are affected if you actually change this thing at the cellular level. So what I've covered is the science, why the product works, why it's needed by everybody, and the fact that most people are moving in the wrong direction. And by taking this, you can actually correct your health. So if you just want to be a customer, that would be great. But if you feel that this is an incredible idea we brought to India, and then is there a business potential? Yes, there is. So we're looking for people part-time to work as business partners with us. The person who invited you to this meeting thought highly of you, thought that you had that passion to help people. You have that business passion to want something more. So you should thank them for inviting you to this presentation and pay attention to the business potential. And at the end of it, if you have questions, get back to the person who invited you and say, look, I'm very interested, but I have these questions, and if they're answered, I'm ready to get going. Okay, so let's say, first of all, what is the actual business potential? Now, test-based nutrition, which is what we are doing, is a global megatrend. Some 500 million people already in the world are using omega-3 today, but only 1 million or less have been tested. And 97% of the people who are taking these omega-3 products are failing the test. They're not in 3:1 or less. They are still carrying chronic inflammation, which I showed you in a previous slide. So the market, 1 million tested, we feel in the next sort of 15 to 20 years, there'll be 1 billion people tested. Therefore, the market for testing is huge. The other bit you need to think about is, what's the market now in monetary terms? When people are buying this stuff, $40 billion worth of omega-3 products are already sold. And as I said, most of them in the market don't work. So we have an opportunity to convert them to a product that actually works. And then The rest of the market, we have an opportunity to introduce this concept of test-based nutrition, which can help people. And it's expected that this market over the next 30 years, by 2050, will go from 40 billion US dollars to about 200 billion US dollars. It will go fivefold. So this big line going up there. So one, there's the people who are using omega-3 already. We can put them on a better product and test them. Two, there's a huge market out there which we can develop. And therefore, there is a need for it. There's a market for it. But how do we bring the Zinzino product, EssentOil, to the market? Let me explain briefly. The traditional sale is there's a manufacturer like Zinzino, and there are customers. As I said, everybody needs it. And they would move it by advertising and wholesaling and putting in the shops, and you go in the shop and buy it, and somebody like Amitabh advertising on the TV and all sorts of things like that. That is the traditional way. What we do is the modern way, e-commerce. So we are the manufacturer, Zinzino, and we take products directly to the consumer. And in the middle are partners who are working part-time, like myself and Mr. Hettel and Dr. Emma and all sorts of people, and Sue and all these people, we're working part-time to take the message like this to the end user. They order it on the website and it is shipped directly to the end user. And the money which is saved in the middle from these advertising and things and wholesale and warehouse, that is passed on to the partners like us. So 50% of the cost of the product goes in paying commissions and profits to individual partners like ourselves. So that's how it works. So if this makes sense to you, that the products are amazing, the market is there, this is a good way to market. I can work part-time in a team with these people who are like-minded, ethical people who want to help people get a better health in India. How do you start your business? You start by first registering. There's no cost to registration. So go back to the person who invited you and say, look, I've heard everything. I want to register right away. Or I need these 2 questions answering. And if they're okay, then I'm okay. Let me register. So there's no cost to registration. Then you start using products yourself, because if you are using the products and benefiting from it, when people ask you, you can tell them your own journey. You can tell them your own result. You can say how it's helped your family. You can say how it made a difference. To get your products, there are 3 different kits you can get, and I will take you quickly through them. The first one is really not a serious one, unless it's absolutely necessary, and that's the only thing you can do. 8,500 rupees, it gives you 1 test and 1 bottle of oil, just for your own use to start with. And then you order every month a bottle of oil, and month 4, you'll have to order a second test, which will cost about 8,000 rupees. So this is okay, but it's not really a serious business. The second one, the Better Balance Kit, 21,000 rupees, 2 tests. You've got the first test and second test, you've got 3 bottles of oil. Or you could test 2 members of your family and start them off on 2 bottles of oil and then set up 2 subscriptions. So it's a better option than the first one. But the third option, which I feel that if you are serious about this business, and this is what I did when I started, is coming with 14 tests and 14 bottles of oil. And it costs, the retail price is over 2 lakh rupees, but this one is discounted to 88,500 rupees. And it says with refund, and I'll explain that. When you start sharing this test and bottle with people that you know and people around you, they will want to go on a subscription. When you get 25 customer subscriptions, 25 tests going to people and bottle of oil going to people every month, not within 1 month, but every month, you need to develop 25 customers in 12 months. After 12 months, the company will refund your 88,500. So although you made your money back, although you made profit for the whole 12 months, the company refunds you the whole 88,500. So it's only like an advance, a deposit on the company, so that you say, I will develop 25 customers. People develop 50, people develop 100 customers in a whole year. People develop much more. So it depends on how fast you want to go. Then there is a monthly cost to the business, which is your customer-facing website, the incredible back office. These are in multiple languages, 15, 20 languages. The mobile apps, which gives you 400 hours of study, mobile apps where you can market from, you can share information with people, which tracks your business, and your EssentOil, which is worth nearly 3,000 rupees coming every month. All of this costs just 5,200 a month to run your entire business, not just in India, but globally. But the company still doesn't want your 5,200. When you join, and within the first 30 days, you sign up for customer subscriptions, not on your own, but in working in a team with us, letting us help you to do that. So you're earning and learning at the same time. As soon as you get your 4 customer subscriptions in the first month, you don't have to pay that 5,200. You end up getting 10 customer subscriptions, you never have to pay the 5,200. You get your website, your back office, your own oil for free. The same thing happens if you're a customer. If you sign up a customer and they're so happy with it, they refer 4 people, friends and family, they will get their product for free every month as well. So it's an amazing loyalty program that's there. As I said, it's part-time. You're not giving up your job or your business or your impact on your family life or whatever other commitments you've got. We work as a team, a few hours a week. If you want to give 10 hours a week, if you want to give 15 hours a week, we sit with you and you decide how much time you want to give, and we work part-time as a team with you. You work from home or wherever you want to, as long as you have a laptop and a WhatsApp phone and things, you're in business. You choose the people you want to work with, like-minded people who want to help people with their health and make them better, and people who want to work ethically in expanding a business. So that will create a residual income, because as your customer base and increases, people are buying every month off the website. People are purchasing every month, and you're getting paid every time they buy. Now, I talked to you about the 12 months. Let me explain how the company helps you even more in the first 30 and 60 days. I won't go into great detail, but just get a feel of this. You start off, you register, you order your ultimate kit. That kit arrives with the 14 tests and 14 bottles of oil, and then working together and inviting people to this sort of presentation or sharing videos with them. We share the idea and we sign up in the first 30 days at least 4 customer subscriptions. As soon as that happens, including the cash bonus and an additional smart bronze bonus, you'll earn about 18,000 rupees in the first 30 days. The second thing we do is we help at least 4 people, just like yourself, to start off part-time. So you introduced 4 partners. This could be just you introducing, or the person who introduced you to it also introducing people, or the person who was introduced introducing another person. But we introduce at least 4 people, just like you would, part-time, and we teach them to do the same. They get their 4 customers and names. So if we do that in the first 30 days, they earn another 18,000 rupees. The third thing we do is in the next 30 days, that's going up to 60 days, we add 6 more customers. So what's happened in the first 60 days is we've got 4 part-time partners to join you, and we've had 10 customer subscriptions for buying every month. All that put together will earn you in the region of 50 to 60,000 rupees, which is nearly not far off the 88,500 that you invested, which you're going to get back after 12 months anyway, when you get 25 customer subscriptions. When you get 25 customer subscriptions, your commission levels go up. You're making something like 1.6 lakh rupees a year just from those customers, 25 customers. If you get 50 customers on the books, you're making about 2.8 lakh rupees a year. If you get 100 customers on the books, you are making around 5 lakh rupees a year just from those 100 customers buying a bottle a month. And on top of that, what you get when you get to 100 customers is a one-time bonus of 8 lakh rupees. That is paid over 24 months, which is 33,000 rupees a month. Just imagine you start now, in the next 12 months, you get your 88,500 back, so your kit didn't cost you anything. You signed up 100 customers, you got an 8 lakh bonus, which is giving you 33,000 a month, for which you're doing no extra work, and you're getting 5 lakh a year, and you've hardly started in the business. That is the potential on the books. With 200 customers, you not only get all that, but you also get a 7-day director's trip where everything is paid for, 5-star hotels and flights and everything. And there'll be the scientists and the top people training you during those 7 days. And also you'll have lots and lots of fun things to do. So that's your customer journey. But there's also a business building where you can actually, as I said earlier, introduce 4 or more people. As soon as you introduce 4 or more people and you help them starting to get their customers, you are called a silver. You've already earned in the first 60 days, as I said, around 60,000 plus in those 60 days, and you're making an average as a silver about 15,000 rupees a month. For some people, that's significant income in addition to what you're getting already. If we help 4 of those people to do the same as you became silver. But if you help 4 people to become silver as well by getting their 4 people and help them get 10 customers and move the things, you are called executive, and you're now earning 45,000 rupees a month. It can take you 3 months. It can take you 2 months. It can take you 6 months. Does it matter? When you get 4 people who are to executive, just like you got to executive, you are now called a diamond. At diamond level, you get a car allowance, you get a phone allowance, but in addition, your average income is around 2.7 lakh rupees a month. Now, for people, that is a serious income. In India, it's a serious income anywhere in the world, actually. If we help 4 people in your team now, developing team, to get to diamond like you did, and each one of them earning about 2.7 lakh rupees a month, you are now called a crown, and your average income is around 10 or 11 lakh rupees a month. Now that is an eye-popping income where you might suddenly think, maybe I should do this full time, actually. I could double this income if I really focused on this. But you're working in a team with us, and your success is our success. So what I've shown you is how, by simple measures, going to silver, to executive, to diamond, to crown, what the potential incomes are. The crown is not even halfway up the marketing plan. There are people in all these levels. One of the gentlemen who's on this call, Mr. Dave Ives, he's a black crown, and he's making about 18 lakh rupees a month. He's been in the business 2 years. There are other people that we are working closely with who are royal ambassadors. There are people in the company who are global presidents and 1-star global presidents. There are people at every level. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's working in a team, consistently being coachable, teachable, learning the business and going step by step by step and increasing your incomes because you're increasing the number of partners you brought in, not just in India. You can have customers and partners in UK, in USA, in Germany, Australia. Who do you know in India as well as globally? You can have customers and partners anywhere in the world. So that is the business potential. But finally, is the timing right? Are you in the right place at the right time? Well, can I tell you, you are in the right place at the right time because we've got 4 lakh customers and we are expected to increase to 10 lakh, 1 million customers within the next 2 to 3 years. We're expected to have 20 million customers by 2035 and 100 million customers by 2050. The team we've developed, which we call One Mondo, we ourselves will be creating 10 million customers. So by joining, the timing is perfect. You're right at the beginning of this global megatrend. You've got to ask yourself, did the health message make sense to you? You've got to ask yourself, could I do with extra money? Could I do with life-changing incomes? I'm not sure. Am I capable? Well, get back to the person who invited you here and ask them the questions. We are going to work as a team. You're not on your own. It's your own business, but you're not on your own. And you're not trying to find thousands of customers. Everybody is finding a few customers, but we're building a team of thousands. So finally, we've got 3 options. One is become a Zinzino customer, improve your own health. And that could be just what you want and nothing else. We welcome you as a customer and we want to look after your health. So reach out to the person who invited you and say, I want to try this test and I want to get on this product. The other thing is you saw a potential, you saw an opportunity. And as my friend, Mr. Hettel says, you know, 1, there are people who make things happen. 2, there are people who watch things happen. And 3, there are people, things happened and they didn't even know, they wonder what happened. Yeah. Don't be in the 3rd category. Don't even be in the 2nd category. If you think there is something here, even if you didn't understand some of it, please get back to the person who invited you and say, I think there's something here for me. I want to have it explained again. I want to be a partner because there's a campaign in June and July, which is what I'll end on. In June and July, when you get that ultimate kit for 88,500 rupees, the company is going to give you 2 vouchers, which you can give away to 2 partners who will come and join your team. Each voucher is worth 21,000 rupees worth of product. So the company is giving away 42,000 rupees worth of product when you buy the 88,500 kit. Plus, after 12 months, they're going to give all your money back. There is no such opportunity out there in the market that provides that. So if that did excite you, we welcome you to join our team. Go back to the person who invited you, get them to answer all your questions, and get onto this campaign so you can participate and profit from this campaign of June and July, where they're giving 42,000 rupees worth of product for free. Back to you, Mr. Hettel.
Thank you, Mukesh. That was an incredible presentation. Thank you for your time and for sharing with the team here. So just like what was shared, I just get back. If you have any questions, make sure that you get back to the person that shared this with you and get your questions answered because they are important. And with that, we are pretty much done. Just some closing